Hello. In today's episode, you will discover 10 fascinating facts about wine. Let's get started. Fact number 1, Romans and wine. In ancient Rome, wine was not only a popular beverage but also served as a form of currency. Wine barrels were used as units of measurement and value and were utilized in various transactions and trade. During that time, slaves were a common form of property and could be bought and sold like any other commodity. Wine barrels were used as a means of payment for slaves, and their price depended on the quality and quantity of the wine contained in the barrels. This meant that wealthy and influential individuals could use their wine reserves as a monetary equivalent when purchasing slaves or engaging in other trade deals. Wine barrels were accepted as a form of value and payment, and their exchange could have economic significance. There was also a belief that adding a special powder made from wood ash to wine helped preserve its freshness and prevent oxidation. This powder, known as light ash, was produced by burning various plants, including grapevines. The resulting ash was then added to the wine in small amounts. Wood ash contains potassium and calcium carbonate, which can balance the acidity of the wine and prevent its oxidation. This method was used to improve the quality and stability of wine. Additionally, in ancient Rome, soldiers had a special relationship with alcoholic beverages, and wine held an important place in their lives and culture. In fact, wine was so valuable and prevalent in the Roman Empire that it was used as a form of payment for military personnel. This was done to incentivize and motivate soldiers during battles and campaigns. Providing wine to soldiers also served a practical purpose. As an alcoholic beverage, wine possessed antiseptic properties and could serve as a means of purifying water and preventing infections. During those times, access to clean fresh water could be limited, and wine could serve as an alternative and safe source of liquid. Fact number 2, space wine. In 2008, the Spanish Wine Federation and the Instituto de la Vid y el Vino de Castilla-La Mancha collaborated to develop a special wine called space wine. The goal of creating this wine was to provide astronauts on long-duration space flights with necessary nutrients and to preserve their appetite and psychological well-being in conditions of weightlessness and stress. To develop the space wine, extensive research and testing were conducted. Scientists studied the effects of space conditions such as microgravity, radiation, and vibrations on wine and its quality. They also considered factors such as the preservation of the wine's nutritional properties, its structure, and stability. The final wine was made from the Tempranillo grape variety, which is one of the most popular varieties in Spain. It was specifically adapted to meet the needs of astronauts, providing necessary nutrients while maintaining its organoleptic properties, taste, aroma, etc., in the spaceflight environment. Space wine has a unique packaging that ensures its preservation and protection from harmful factors such as light and oxygen. A special system was also developed for consuming the wine in microgravity conditions. Although this wine was created specifically for space travel, it has also gained popularity on Earth. Several limited editions were made available for purchase to the public, and they have become of interest to collectors and wine enthusiasts. Now tell me, how much wine would you need if you were an astronaut? Write your answer in the comments. Fact number 3, the aerial pruning. When grapevines grow, they tend to reach for the top parts of the vineyard to access sunlight and undergo photosynthesis, which is necessary for the ripening of the grapes. However, sometimes vine growth can be excessive, leading to inefficient nutrient distribution and a decrease in grape quality. Grapevines can reach enormous sizes, especially when grown under optimal conditions. Sometimes, helicopters are used to trim and prune the vines as a means of maintenance and care. This method is employed by certain winemakers in New Zealand and Australia. This process, known as aerial pruning, involves using a helicopter to trim the upper parts of the grapevines that extend beyond certain limits. This is done to maintain the proper balance of vine growth and ensure optimal access to sunlight and airflow for the grape clusters. Helicopters are used due to their maneuverability and ability to reach inaccessible areas within vineyards. Helicopter pilots, along with professional gardeners and winemakers, work together to determine the necessary pruning and precise locations that require trimming. The helicopters then fly over the vineyards and use specialized tools to trim the excessive growth. Aerial pruning helps preserve the health and quality of grapevines, improves ventilation, and facilitates access to light for the grape clusters, resulting in better grape ripening. Fact number 4. The drunken mayor of Heidelberg. The story of Andreas Reichen, the mayor of the German city of Heidelberg, and his wine consumption is a legendary tale that has been passed down through generations. While the exact details of the events may be slightly distorted, it remains a popular anecdote and is told in various versions. According to one version, during one of the celebrations or festive events, Andreas Reichen made a bet with the guests that he could drink a 3-liter stein of wine in one gulp. At that time, wine was a highly popular beverage in Germany, and the ability to drink wine was considered a fine quality. According to the legend, Andreas Reichen successfully drank the entire stein of wine without pausing or stopping. His feat astonished and amazed those present. He was praised for his endurance and ability to consume large quantities of wine. Over time, Andreas Reichen's reputation as the drunken mayor and his ability to drink wine became legendary. His name became synonymous with someone capable of consuming large amounts of alcohol. Currently, the city of Heidelberg in Germany continues to maintain a connection to the story of Andreas Reichen and his legendary wine consumption. Heidelberg is known for its wine-making traditions and is one of the popular wine-producing regions in Germany. The city hosts various wine festivals, events, and tours related to winemaking. Some of them may include references to the legend of Andreas Reichen and his wine consumption. Fact number 5. Prohibition in the United States. During Prohibition, which was in effect in the United States from 1920 to 1933, the production, sale, and consumption of alcoholic beverages, including wine, were prohibited. However, some wineries found ways to circumvent the ban and continue their operations. One such tactic was the production and sale of grape juice. In reality, this was unfermented grape juice that contained a negligible amount of alcohol or no alcohol at all. It could be sold under the pretext of being used for home winemaking. Instructions were included with the grape juice on how to add yeast and undergo the fermentation process to turn the juice into wine at home. This allowed consumers to revive the juice to obtain an alcoholic beverage despite the prohibition. As a result, many wineries switched to producing and selling grape juice to keep their businesses running during Prohibition. It was a kind of loophole in the legislation that allowed people to obtain wine products and continue consuming them despite the alcohol ban. Fact number 6. The Judgment of Paris. This event took place in 1976 and had a significant impact on the global wine industry. It caused a sensation as American wines emerged victorious in a prestigious tasting where French wines were considered unrivaled. In 1976, Parisian sommelier Steven Spurrier organized a blind tasting where invited experts were tasked with evaluating French and American wines. The participants were given wine samples presented without labels or in special opaque glasses to prevent them from knowing which wines they were drinking. During the tasting, 9 white and 9 red wines from each country were presented. The surprise and shock came when American wines, predominantly from California, showcased exceptional results. In the white wine category, the American wine Chardonnay from Chateau Montelena took first place, while in the red wine category, the American wine Cabernet Sauvignon from Stag's Leap Wine Cellars also claimed first place. This outcome caused disbelief and mistrust among French experts and winemakers, as French wine was regarded as flawless and unparalleled. The results of this tasting pushed the global community to recognize the quality of American wines and drew attention to the emerging wine industry in California. The Judgment of Paris had immense significance for the American wine industry, affirming its ability to produce high-quality wines capable of competing with traditionally revered French wines. Fact number 7. The first wine bottles were made from goatskins. The first wine bottles were made from goatskins. These bottles were called skins or wineskins. They were made by cleaning and drying the skin of a goat, then sewing it up to create a bag. The bag was then filled with wine and sealed with a cork or other stopper. Wineskins were used for centuries to store and transport wine. They were portable and easy to carry, and they could be sealed tightly to prevent the wine from spoiling. Some people believe that the birdie was created in the Middle East, while others believe that it was created in Europe. There is also some evidence to suggest that the birdie may have originated in Africa. The first known written reference to the birdie comes from the 12th century when it was mentioned in a poem by the Persian poet Omar Khayyam. Khayyam described the birdie as a wineskin or skin bottle. The birdie became more popular in Europe in the 16th century. This was due in part to the popularity of wine drinking in Europe at the time. The birdie continued to be popular in Europe until the 18th century when it was replaced by the glass bottle. Glass bottles were stronger and more durable than wineskins, and they could be easily sealed with a cork. As a result, glass bottles quickly became the standard for storing and transporting wine. It is interesting that modern films that reveal historical events show wineskins as a means of storing water, not wine. Although you and I now know that their original purpose was to preserve and transport wine. Fact number 8. Wine fireworks, wine soap, and wine perfume. Wine was used to create perfumes. In different cultures and historical periods, wine was used to make aromatic fragrances. The process of creating perfume from wine involved distillation, where the alcohol from the wine was concentrated and then blended with other ingredients to create a unique scent. Wine perfumes had a variety of aromas, ranging from fruity and floral to spicy and woody. Different grape varieties were often used to create a variety of scents. Notable wine perfumes included Muscat, Champagne, and port wine. These wine perfumes were used as perfumes or toilet waters to give a fresh scent to the body or clothing. Today, most perfumes are created from other spirits such as alcohol or vodka. Wine was also used to make soap. In some traditional soap-making methods, wine was used as one of the ingredients. Wine contains fats and oils that can be used to create soap. The soap-making process involves mixing fats or oils with an alkaline solution to undergo a chemical reaction called saponification. Using wine instead of water gives the soap additional characteristics. The wine acids and antioxidants present in the wine can give the soap nourishing properties. Wine can also influence the color and scent of the soap, creating unique variations. In different cultures and historical periods, wine was used to create special effects in fireworks and pyrotechnic shows. One method of using wine in pyrotechnic shows is by pouring wine into special containers or fire torches. The wine is then ignited, creating bright and vibrant flames that can scatter into sparks and splashes. In China, the use of wine in pyrotechnic shows has a long history. In traditional Chinese celebrations such as the New Year and the Lunar Festival, wine was used to create special effects. Ignited wine was poured along special wire structures, creating cascades of fire, colorful sparks, and other effects that added magic and joy to the festive atmosphere. Fact number 9. 55,000 liters of wine. In 1478, Duke of Burgundy Charles the Bold, also known as Charles the Fearless, was at war and besieging the city of Nijmegen in the Netherlands when he encountered a problem with supplying provisions for his army. The city's defenses had managed to block the usual supply routes, and Charles the Bold had to come up with a solution to overcome this situation. Instead of the usual ransom in the form of money, Charles the Bold proposed a special ransom to the people of Nijmegen, 55,000 liters of wine. He understood that his army was cut off from its usual alcohol supplies and decided to use wine as a currency for delivering the necessary provisions. It was a rather unusual and joyful exchange that allowed the citizens to alleviate the siege and satisfy the army's wine needs. Wine, being seen as a symbol of celebration and socializing, could help alleviate tension and boost the morale of the soldiers. This unconventional ransom enabled the Duke of Burgundy to provide his army with necessary supplies while creating an atmosphere of joy and relaxation amidst the conditions of warfare. Fact number 10. Bouteilles de sauvetage, rescue bottles. During the transitional period of the 18th and 19th centuries, when France was in a state of political and social instability, people often found themselves in situations where they were forced to stay inside their homes, under quarantine, or taken hostage. Meanwhile, wine was an essential part of French culture and customs. It was an integral component of everyday life, and its absence caused dissatisfaction among the people. To address this issue, the so-called bouteilles de sauvetage or rescue bottles were developed. Rescue bottles were small glass bottles with a capacity of about 120 milliliters that contained wine. They had a special shape and size, making them easy to conceal and carry. People could have their portion of daily wine despite restrictions and prohibitions, such as quarantine or hostage situations. These rescue bottles became a symbol of the unwavering commitment of the French to wine and their desire to continue enjoying it despite any obstacles. They gained popularity during those times and have continued to exist until today. Thank you for watching. We hope our short and informative videos have left you inspired and enriched your knowledge. See you in the next videos, and remember, every piece of knowledge is important for your growth. See you soon.